we just wanted to have a general discussion about some ideas that some of these pictures might have sparked for you, and some things that you can do from a facility standpoint. Most of your schools are pretty big sites, and that's one thing that you really have going for you. I mean, you go to a school in LA, and there's like, you have actually I kid you not, I visited a school in Cudahy that had it was an elementary school site, and it was 10 acres, but they had 1,600 kids on that site, and they had 600 kindergartners on that one piece of property. So it's, I mean, can you believe that? Yeah. Yes.
Durfee has a space in the OH school, that central courtyard. It'd be such a great something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what its future could be, but that courtyard in the Byron Thompson building to me is just crying for some really exciting usage. Protected, safe, easily accessible. It's a great space.
Yeah, that's actually, it is a delightful space, and it has windows into it from the hallway. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that comes to mind is, in the past there used to be gardens on almost every school site, and what would happen, they get vandalized, and I remember at Savannah we had a garden there, and right when I was leaving, they somebody came in and they pulled all the vegetables out, and the teachers decided it was just too frustrating. Your kids were so excited that the vegetables were growing, and so anyway, I mean, I think maybe a garden of sorts in that area might be one opportunity. Other.
Talking about the multi-purpose room, I had one shot of that school that very modern looking, and many of our campuses have auditoriums that probably be restructured internally now that kitchens are different than they used to be. That space is somewhat wasted, and seems like a lot more to be done with the spaces in terms of those multi-purpose rooms.
Yeah, I think one of the benefits of your central kitchen is that you need only a smaller serving area, so you could take a lot of that space that was needed in the old first full-service kitchen and dedicate it over to the multi-purpose space. The other thing I think that's important is that dining versus eating, and I was one of the schools Rachel and I visited the other day. They had 6 lunch periods, so there's not a lot of dining that goes on in that space. But I think creating a space that maybe has some windows and it's a pleasant space. One of the you're probably familiar with the multiple intelligence schools. Sue Rainey out at not Sue Rainey. Who's in my brain? She's out at UCR. She's an expert in multiple intelligence, but I visited a multiple intelligence school once, and every Friday they had formal dining with their kids, and they'd put tablecloths, they'd have flowers on the table, and the kids were asked to dress, I mean, not in tuxedos, but wear nice clothes, and then they played music, and the kids were served rather than going and getting their food, and it was just they were teaching their kids social skills and Yeah, and it's something that you can do fairly simply, as long as, especially if you already have a window in that area, that's already got the structure in there, and then you just add, and it's really, it's just a garage door, so it's not all that expensive to do, and it's got to be something the teachers would like and are willing to work with, but when it is, it's really a powerful thing. It just makes that whole area, really be a great collaboration space.
Not so much a question of design, but just taking advantage of the city in terms of creating partnerships that will more learning experiences for the students, such as you talked a little bit about the criminal
Yeah, that's it's so important. The one Met school that I visited for a couple days up in Sacramento, which I've mentioned before, the guy that was sort of coordinating the internships for the students, he mentioned that it was so easy for them to set up internships and apprenticeships and visitations, because he said that no one else was doing it, and most of the people that they would call, or the students would call, would say, "Oh, we'd love to. This is our community. We want to, want to help, and we have some things that we think students could do." And so, yeah, just making those connections is a great idea. I'm gonna walk back in the back here, so. Yeah, that's one. Anyone have some thoughts? No? That's why you're sitting in the back. So. Right.
I think some of the images you showed about personalizing the location and incorporating elements of that into the design of the buildings or in the pavement, or I think that's really a nice idea, because it makes it more homey for the students and makes them more.
Yeah. Are there things that, obviously, one of the things that struck me is the the end of the Santa Fe Trail. Celebrating that. And another thing that the board mentioned when we had a little work session with them was that El Monte's always been a place where people come to. People come from other countries, or they come on the trail. This has always been a place that's been very open and accepting. It's been sort of a landing spot, and many people move off somewhere else. A lot of people stay here, but there's something about that that's exciting. Are there other things that you feel are unique that you could celebrate? Okay.
Since you're saying about the buildings and construction of all that you're saying, why can't you just tell all for teachers, for us to go outside and go outside, rest for a little while for a break, and then we go back in and then learn, because we get frustrated sometimes. That's when we put boring teachers, because they don't let us give a break for a little while, for at least 1 minute or two, for us to refresh, and then we could go back into our learning.
A jam in a minute. Jam
All right. Well, I think that's a great point, though, as far as creating those outdoor spaces. It could still be an educational opportunity, like Rick mentioned. School can be fun.
Yeah, I just want to say how Natalie was saying, I was telling Ms. Garcia earlier that you guys are talking about new programs, new buildings, new technology and all that. The thing is, you don't need that. All you have to do is just get, once in a while, get your kids off their butts, get them outside, do a nice lesson outside. Columbia, we have this pretty new building that we're just sitting in all day. And, we have beautiful views, outside our windows. And teachers just close it up because we get distracted, because they're so boring, and you're just, looking out the window, staring at the squirrels, and then they close it. And, so just get your kids out there, but have a lesson outside. 5 minutes, walk around real quick. It's that easy. You don't need new programs, new technology, money wasted. You just need to get them outside.
Thank you. Anyone else? So, are there any other ideas of things that you could celebrate as a community? I know a lot of things have already been mentioned, but. Yeah, a lot of times, people will do these food fairs. Actually, the newest thing is these food trucks all, come in. So, no food truck. Yeah. But I think, I think tying in with your, your culinary programming, your central kitchen, being able to, to bring out, have those cultural celebrations, and I'm sure the foods people would be really excited about doing that, and coming out to a campus and doing a special event. So that's a great idea.
Kind of piggybacking on the idea about getting outside, there are some school systems, I think particularly in Oslo, Norway, as well as some in New York City, where they actually have a requirement that 20% of the time a week is spent out in the community of the elementary students. And we're not talking about it in very fancy type areas. We're talking about in urban areas. And so 1/5 of their curriculum is city-centered, neighborhood-centered, community-centered. And they structure lessons, they do walks, they do activities that get the kids out and in one way or another relating to, learning from, sharing ideas about the community. And it's an interesting approach that I thought about. And I wonder how teachers do it, to be honest with you, in terms of that. And they do it almost regardless of the weather. And in Oslo, that can be a bit of a challenge in the winter. But they're still out even in the winter, that one day a week.
Yeah, they're a little more severe than
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'd be great though to take a field trip to that, to that industrial facility or that. I mean, to see, what's going on or. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. The Tumbleweed Theater also.